Greetings, class. I wanted to come and talk about Module 2 assignment. I have provided some videos for you on the Excel nuts and bolts from Mr. Sokol, and there are also videos from Dr. Powers of Southern New Hampshire. They have done an excellent job of detailing the Excel for this and the assignments to come. Okay, so I didn't just re-record a whole video, that's already been done. What I wanted to do today is talk about the rubric and just some of the nuts and bolts of how you'll be assessed and how you can achieve the maximal score. So let me share my screen so we can jump into the rubric. So I have the rubric for Module 2, as well as, so this is the assignment guidelines and rubric. If you'll notice down at the end of the assignment guidelines, you have the rubric. So what I want to point to first is I want you to download the template. That's the first order of business. Here is the template. Once you hit that button, you download it. All of these places where there are brackets, those are going to be removed. Okay, and it tells you that here, but sometimes, if you're moving fast, you don't necessarily take out all of them and they do detract from the report. And that is going to be in the articulation portion of the rubric that I'll show you momentarily. Of course, you'll put your name here. Remember that you are writing this report for like your boss. So you are going to make sure that you're using proper grammar, complete sentences, paragraphing appropriately. And the flow of the report is actually given for you here. So try not to veer too far away from this flow, okay? One of the things you don't want your boss to do is have to jump around in your report for information, because then that's an opportunity for them to talk to you about it and you would have to grow from it, but you can just skip the middleman and follow the flow, especially if they give you one, and here's one here. I digress. Follow this flow and it goes through and tells you everything that should be in each portion of this report. Okay, so that's the first thing. Pull the rubric, look at the rubric, look at the guidelines, and use the Module 2 assignment template to complete the report. So if we start at generating a representative sample of the data, so go ahead and generate 30. Do not use the whole data set from a region. And you're going to choose one region. Don't go all over the place. Choose one region and then take 30 out of that region. You can choose the region you want to use, but ideally, we don't want you to use the one that's in the examples. Okay, so again, areas of improvement may include a sample that's not truly random or incorrect descriptive statistics. Okay, so that would be needs improvement. Proficient would be taking care of all of it correctly. All right, analyze your sample. You have national statistics and graphs in this document here. So when you click this link, you will open up to this document that gives you the median listing price, mean, median, and standard deviation of the national data. So what you're going to do with that is discuss how this is reflective of the national market. So that's what you want to do. And then explain how the sample is random. So if you used the rand function in Excel, you're going to want to say that here, okay? Because if it's not clear, you cannot say, oh, I just randomly selected 30. How did you do that? So that's not clear, then you'd be down here at needs improvement. Okay, over here, not down here. Over here, it needs improvement. Okay, so just keep that in mind. If you're talking about exemplary, the things you want to remember are, how can I make this exceptionally clear that this is reflective of the national population? Okay, so exceptionally clear might mean adding in additional detail. for the statistics that you have. That could be one way. You are not limited when you're providing more clarity. I will forewarn you, though, that does not mean just kind of finding something in the book and throwing it in there. The definition of mean is we don't need that. We don't need that. That's extraneous and it takes away from the report. So just veer away from that. But how can you make this data and your information more clear? And that's what you're looking for there for exemplary. It generates a scatter plot. Okay. So-called, does walk you through all of this to create a scatter plot with X and Y variables and include a trend line. Now, when you look at the rubric, you're also to provide a description of X, what's Y, what is the association, what is the shape of this, of your graph. So again, everything here needs to be complete to get proficient. Then if you move above and beyond what is in this category, adding in more clarity, then you're now in exemplary. And I didn't want to make this long, but observes patterns. If you answer all of these questions, you are right here at proficient. And that is 85%, which, that's great, actually. If you also, and then notice too, instead of just exceptionally clear, it says insightful or sophisticated manner. What insights can you add to the patterns that you've observed? Okay, so think about that. Remember, don't just add in information that's really not helpful. You are being very clear about what's in your report. Okay, lastly, the articulation of response. Clearly conveys meaning with correct grammar, sentence structure, and spelling, demonstrating understanding of audience and purpose. Okay, so make sure that you are writing this to the intended audience, which who did they say it was? You've been recently hired as a junior analyst by this real estate company. The sales team asked you to prepare a report. So your audience is the sales team. They may not understand every piece of statistical information. That's where this clarity comes in. That's who you're talking to. So make sure you brought your report to their level and their need of clarity, or their clarifying, their need of clarity. Okay. What do they need to be clear on? What do they really want to know? What are they getting at here? Okay. So that is the rubric as it pertains to the guidelines. And if you have any questions or concerns, please let me know. This is how you will be assessed. All right. I look forward to talking to you throughout the week via email, and I'll probably post 1 or 2 more announcements for the week.